In today's breaking story, Melania Trump just handed Putin a letter and then she got a brutal response. That's right, the embarrassment never ends for anyone tied to Donald Trump. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avalone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, recently, Trump went to Alaska to meet with Putin. However, he seems to have forgotten that Alaska is actually part of the US.
If it's bad, if it's something I don't see a future in, I'm a deal guy. If it's something I don't see a future in, I'm gone. I'll leave. I don't have to do a press. I'll just say, not going to be a deal. I'm out of here. And I go back to the United States.
Either way, it seems this entire ordeal was nothing but a nightmare.
Even the subhead, thank you. Even the puffery-prone president can alchemize his non-deal with Russia into Trumpian gold. And one poll quote that we have, nothing says standing up to Russian aggression quite like welcoming the aggressor on a red carpet and applauding him. Tell folks what you think of what you thought about what you saw last night.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Eugene, when the summit started, right, and we didn't understand what exactly was going to happen behind closed. You know, I thought even by Trump's standards to welcome the accused war criminal and sanctioned Vladimir Putin to the United States for the first time in a decade, well, that's bad enough, but you can see, okay, Trump can justify that in terms of, you know, the larger goal of peace. But when I saw from the get-go that Trump was going to welcome this into a great success, and if you listen to his long interview with Sean Hannity, I'm not recommending that necessarily. It was 35 minutes of blah, 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 and that was the tell. Even Trump couldn't rationalize it. He talked about everything under the sun except for Russia. And of course, then overnight, we get the real news, which is that Donald Trump has abandoned the very position he's been holding to for the last 6 months, which is that there needs to be an immediate ceasefire. As recently as the Air Force One plane ride to Alaska, Trump says there needs to be an immediate ceasefire, and I'm really hoping to get that today, and I'll be really upset if I don't. Overnight, he says never mind about that and adopts Vladimir Putin's position that there should actually be work on a longer-term peace deal instead of a ceasefire. So,
and now Melania Trump just handed Putin a letter and she got a brutal response. Take a look at today's top story. During the Trump-Putin summit in Alaska, First Lady Melania Trump tried to step into the spotlight. She sent her husband with a personal letter for Vladimir Putin, urging him to return Ukrainian children abducted by Russian forces. It was a rare intervention from Melania, who, as a native of Slovenia, has been vocal about her sympathy for Ukraine. Some allies praised the move, calling her a friend of Kiev and applauding her for at least putting the issue of child abductions directly on the table. But if Melania was hoping for a breakthrough, it didn't happen. Putin didn't even respond to the letter, and instead of headlines about Russian accountability, the bigger reaction has been a wave of brutal criticism online. Ex-users hammered her for what they saw as empty virtue signaling. One wrote that sending a letter through her husband was a pathetic and utterly irresponsible stunt. Another mocked the gesture as scripted theater, pointing out that Trump himself gutted programs that tracked abducted children. And more than one person compared this moment to her infamous Be Best anti-bullying campaign during Trump's first term, when she claimed to stand against bullies while being married to the biggest one in America. The result, a supposed act of conscience, has only reignited questions about Melania's credibility. She tried to position herself as a moral voice, but without action or results, the letter has been framed as more pageantry than diplomacy. So while Putin shrugged it off entirely, the harsher blow came from the public, a blistering reminder that when Melania Trump tries to play humanitarian, many see hypocrisy first. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.